Thanks for talking to me and having this chat with Roy, which is...
Chat with Roy.
Chat with Roy, all about the Blue Fox.
The name of the series.
Yeah.
Chats with Roy.
It's not a podcast. I'm waiting to hear yours.
Yes, the lovely podcast that has no name.
That's another story.
My daughter-in-law suggested The Final Pivot.
Yeah.
A little too subtle.
I like The Fox and the Frog.
The Fox and the Frog, I like that too.
That you can make all sorts of
Go
stories.
with that any which way you want.
So why is your book called Fox Tales?
Fox Tales, it's very interesting because many years ago, 50 years ago, I was called after a lawyer's meeting a fox by some unknown, no, actually it was a very good friend of mine. And he said, that was pretty good in there. And I was young and I said, that could be a good tagline. Why don't we, blue is my color, we'll call it the Blue Fox.
Right.
And the very next morning, I lived on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and it was a snowy, ugly day. And on those days, I gave myself the treat of using a black car, which is the car you called up, and they came to your house, picked you up, and took you to work. And instead of saying to this guy Dave, who was the dispatcher, and say, Richie on East 82nd Street, I said to him, tell him it's the Blue Fox on 82nd Street. I said, maybe I'll get a car within an hour. It's miserable out. And he came back in a second and he said, I said it's the Blue Fox on East 82nd and East End, and 6 guys answered it immediately and said, I'll take the Blue Fox, I'll take the Blue Fox. I said, wow, that's a gimmick.
Yeah.
And I said, I got the car right away, so I said, and then later on that day we were making dinner reservations, and I told the maitre d' or whatever restaurant it was, I said, I need a table for 6 for the Blue Fox. The Blue Fox, he says. What the hell is the Blue Fox? Well, we're going to have a table for you when you get here. Tell us when you get here. I said, absolutely. I got to the restaurant. Everybody was wanting to know, who's the Blue Fox? It was like a whole celebration. I said, wow, that started all out there. Well, I took that and I made a card. I had like 100 cards in linen of this Blue Fox, and underneath in English font, I said, the Blue Fox. When I gave that card out, people were really impressed. They said, wow, this is really fancy. Well, I was the Blue Fox.
And it all came from that?
And it all came from that. That's how the Blue Fox started.
That's the title of your personal memoir, which you did with us at LifeBook.
Absolutely. So Fox Tales was what we came up with, and then, of course, I'm the Blue Fox.
Audacious Adventures of the Blue Fox. So tell us about writing the book and what made you do it and how it went.
Well, in the book, we even explain it. My sons, especially my oldest son, he's a writer and he's a bookworm, and he said about a number of years ago, 10, 12 years ago, he said, I'd like you to write a book and describe to us all the people you know in the family, from your point of view. You know your aunts, your uncles, your father, your mom. We don't know them that well, and I'd love to have it for my children. You're going to not be here the rest of your life. We'd like to have it. And how about all my progeny? What a great gift that they'll have your point of view, your knowledge of all these people we don't even know.
Yeah. And
I said, that is the worst idea I have ever heard. I am not capable of writing a book, certainly not, and I am not going to do it. Don't even think about it. It's not going to happen.
Right.
I said, I have there's no way I can concentrate and write a book. He said, well, why don't you do it on a computer? Just talking to the computer. I'll set it up for you. I said, no, don't even think about it. It's
not going to happen.
Not going to happen at all. And then, as time went on, just a while ago, I saw this advertisement for this company, Lifetime Books, and I called and I said, this sounds like something I can do. You're going to interview me.
Yeah.
I'm a talker. I can talk all day long. My mother would say, you say hello to Richie, you're going to have 4 hours. He's just going to keep you talking forever. So yeah, that sounded interesting, and that's how I did it.
And so you got to meet your project manager?
Absolutely. And when I met Charlotte,
I
was immediately enamored with, this is a woman I can deal with. She's keep things going. She got the way of making it a goal. She wouldn't let me, putz around.
And it didn't worry you that she was in London or in England?
No.
She's not?
No, it's a phone.
Yeah, it's good.
Phone call.
And then she introduced you to your interviewer?
Meredy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Meredy. Yeah, Meredy was a trip. Yeah. She actually was a plus.
And I think you said you're still friends with her. Yeah.
Wonderful woman, very nice. And
so tell me, when you got the book, what did you think?
It was a grand slam. I was so impressed. It was really It was wonderful. First of all, it came early, so that's always great. You know, under promise, over deliver.
Yeah.
So I was expecting it 2 weeks later, and when it came on, I think it came on a Sunday.
Yeah.
It was fabulous. You know, I couldn't wait to open the box and get my hands on it, and of course the quality and everything else. I knew what it was going to look like in terms of quality.
Because you'd signed off the galley proof.
Yeah, and I also had other books that you had made, you know,
Yeah.
from your promotional stuff. But it overwhelms you when you see your own pictures and your own stuff. And I started reading it, you know, and even though I knew every
You
word,
knew what was in it.
I knew every word in the book.
Yeah.
Right, and also I wanted to make this a positive book.
Yeah.
My whole attitude towards it was, I'm not going to tell stories about people that are negative. I'm not going to say bad things about ex-wives. I'm not going to make this into a tell-all book. That wasn't my purpose. My purpose was to glorify everything that happened in my life that was fun.
Yeah.
You know, that had happy times, and you know, my 3 marriages, when they were good, were happy times.
Yeah.
And everything you do in life has value. And so I'm not going to hide things. I want everybody to know what it was all about. And listen, I've had a great life. I've had all these businesses, and my present life is
But it's brilliant, because when I created LifeBook Memoirs, the whole idea behind it was that A, you as the author would enjoy it, and B, your family would have a legacy.
Absolutely.
And for me, that's job done. And if it
This fulfills that whole, you know, the whole point you had. Now that I've listened to why you did what you did, I am the perfect example of why you did what you did.
And thank you so much for supporting me on this.